Alright, well, hello YouTube, this is Joseph Quick here, and today I'm going to go over my water collection and water purification systems. I have two. Alright, and these two items have multiple uses. So, my secondary is 4 50-gallon drum bags. And then second is my poncho. It's my poncho. Because, okay, the reason why I have two is because one, what if something happens to this? What if something happens? I fall and I rip it right down the middle. Would I be screwed? No. Would I be out of a poncho? Yes. That's why I have plastic bags as my secondary. And then that's why I have 4. To where if something happens to one, I have 3 more. So I'm covering my own ass. That's the biggest thing. Think about what all you're gonna take before you take it. If you've been following along with this series, with my bug out bag series, that's why I have a knife, a saw, and a hatchet. That's why I have those 3 things, because the saw, the hatchet, those 2 are primarily for getting wood. Those are my primary wood collection sources. But that's why I have 2. To where if something happens to my hatchet, I have a backup. And I have a backup. And then if something happens to my saw, and I have my hatchet as backup. Or if something happens to both of them, I have my knife. So that is why I always have 3. I try to stick to the rules of 3. Whenever it comes to my supplies. That's why I have magnesium, lighter, and matches for fire. But back to what this video is about. These two. They can also be used for water collection. Plastic bags. You make a square. And you take your plastic bag and you put it in the square and you fold the sides down over it. There you go. You have a water collection system. Second thing is make a tripod. Just make a tripod and put the short ends down here at the base, but spread them out wide. And then you take these, same thing. Put the sides over it. There you go. You have a water collection system. Poncho. Pull out the 4 corners. Put the 4 corners out, and then from there, what you'll do is take the hood, pull the strap, and then pull it up and tie it off to something. And there you go. You have a secondary water collection system. Okay? And then also, third is heat. Heat and elimination of conduction. So, my poncho. If need be, I can either turn that into a shelter and prevent hypothermia, which can then lead to convection. Conduction. Stumbling over my own words. Shelter. Ground mat, if need be. You can make a stretcher and sleep on that. You can make a bed and sleep on that. Sacrifice one of them. Put one as high as it will go, and then you take your second one, make a slot just big enough for your head to stick through, or just make a big U. Just make a big U. So let's say that this is the top. I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to just make a U right here. Now I'm going to throw it back. Now I'm going to throw it back. There you go. You just made yourself a makeshift sleeping bag. You could also make a ground pad out of 2 tarps and not have to destroy one. Just you take them and you fill them up with a bunch of green branches, fern branches, pine, bunch of pine. Make sure to get all the pine cones out and all the loose limbs. See, things like that. That's how you can turn these 2 things into multiple uses. So don't forget, we went over shelter. We went over shelter with this. Convection. Did I say that right? Conduction. No, convection. It is convection. Convection eliminators. Water collection. And also the 3 main uses that I personally would use these for. Because each of them has their own uses. So, don't forget to hit that like button, that notification bell, and subscribe. And whatever you guys want to see next, hit it up. And we're getting closer and closer and closer to doing the bag itself review. Which right now I'm having to use as my backpack, which sucks. But I'm putting it to a test. But I'll go over all that. Once I do that review. Alright, so once again, hit the notification bell, subscribe button, and hit that like button. And also, remember, rules of 3. Remember the rules of 3. Be prepared and stay frosty. Peace.